here we go. Our first special of 2024. Greatest sporting achievements. It's one of my favorite things to do every single guest episode. And our first one for this series is Laurie Evans. He needed no prep. He was straight into it. You could argue he's one of our best dual code athletes.
I've got a couple. I mean, I'm torn between...
Give us them both.
You know, there's obviously... I'm addicted to golf.
Right.
You know, it's an addiction.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you good at it?
And I'm off +2.
Oof.
You know, which
What they have to put.
You go the other way, yeah.
Oh,
So like, but that's taken years of hard work, practice.
Yes.
So I'm very proud of that. But on the other side, I've got, you know, pushing my dad off the bed for the first time in, you know, Christmas Day wrestling.
Yeah.
That's
a big
more
day.
in the areas.
It's a big day.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember it, yeah, very well. And I was probably about 16 at the time. My dad was, you know, quite a good rugby player back in the day, but he sort of proudly, you know, kept that reputation of being able to push us both off the bed
right
in wrestling.
Is that something you did every year? Was it like a
tradition? every Christmas, pretty much.
Got on the bed, right, boys, on the bed. It's
Me and my
wrestling time.
brother, yeah.
And you did it when I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one.
Can I ask about the golf? We did do a little research on this.
Hmm.
We act silly, but we're usually well prepared. Did you almost qualify for the Open?
Yeah, I gave it a go this year. Yeah.
This year?
This year, yeah.
Holy shit.
So first time I've given it a go. And
what does that involve?
You have to basically sort of have a low enough handicap to be able to register your interest, and then, you know, you get the letter through, and if you've got in, you get told where you would like to do it. So luckily there was a golf club near me, so I asked my next door neighbour, who's actually a member of that golf club, to caddy for me.
Right.
And then we turned up on the first tee, and there was a guy from Canada who'd flown over especially, and he hit it out of bounds on the first shot, and I was like, oh.
So he's done.
Yeah, he's flown over from Canada.
Game over.
And like he's binned it.
So do you have to beat that person?
No, so basically you just have to shoot. So like, let's say there was 7 spots available at my particular course.
Right.
And there's 15 other golf courses around the country. So you're looking at, you know, 100 spots, give or take, and then they sort of work it out. So I had to shoot roughly about level par, but, you know, they're middle of the summer, the greens are tough, you know, and every shot matters. It's not, you know, just playing with your mates and you can just wing it around.
Yeah.
So I shot 5 over, which was, you know, pretty good. I missed a putt from about there, you know, for a birdie and little things like that.
Yeah.
That another year I would probably knock in.
I had no idea that's how it works. It's almost like an FA Cup of like,
yeah.
It's like.
Well, the funny thing was that then obviously because of the live stuff,
yeah,
the guys who were on live then had to qualify. So if I got through that first round, you're then into final qualifying. So you could rock up and Sergio Garcia as your partner, Ian Poulter as your partner, Lee Westwood as your partner. So I was just like giggling, just like, how good would this be if I get through?
That's pretty crazy.
So how close did you get 5 over?
5 over. So I had to shoot level par.
Right.
So yeah,
Gee.
5 shots to cut for next year.
Wow.
So is the connection between golf and cricket then? Because you can play cricket, we've seen you do that too. Like, is there like the hand-eye stuff? There's a connection, right?
There is, yeah. I mean, they are similar. You're hitting a white ball. Well, in my case, you're hitting a white ball. I've given up red ball cricket a long time ago.
Yeah,
thankfully. But obviously they are slightly different disciplines in terms of like golf's a bit more right hand, like cricket's a bit more left hand. Although if you're slogging one, it is right hand. So it sort of goes hand in hand. Like the more I slog it well, the better my golf gets. So
right,
you know, I had to make that decision. Giving up 4-day cricket, it was like this is going to help my golf.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it.
Speaking of cricket, here's Jake Waterman, Jake the Snake, All-Australian this year, tells us about getting the middle peg of one of the best T20 players going around.
All right. Cricket. Right arm over. First drop, medium. Year 10, first 11, versing a school from New Zealand. Glenn Phillips, I don't know if anyone knows him, plays for New Zealand. One of the best T20 players in the world right now.
Oh, so this is an actual cricketer.
Yeah, took his middle peg. So he's one of the best T20 players in the world, and I've absolutely skilled him. So that's my claim to fame. And every time I see him play on TV, I laugh.
Do you think that you could have played international cricket for Australia?
No way. I'm not very fast, but I'm a bit like Glen McGrath areas, like poor man's.
Line length.
Yeah, like hit a 5-cent coin every time.
Great.
Just like do my role for the team. Lock someone up at the other end. They come on, take a few wickets.
Celebration?
Not a big celebrate, like a big appealer. But like once I get the decision, it's just like, yeah, chill out.
Right,
like,
okay.
Relax, mate.
So Glenn Phillips, shout out.
Yeah. Great man as well.
Okay, very good.
This next one rivals pigeon racing, poker playing, skateboarding, all of the good ones. This one's Jonathan Brown. Get your bungee cords ready.
Well, does bungee jumping count?
Absolutely, it does. The more unique, the
Extreme
better.
sport. There you go.
Extreme sport. There you go. Perfect, Dan.
Hey,
Thanks.
there's more of a story there. Don't stop the bungee.
I was 15 years old on a footy trip with the Geelong Falcons. I think we're playing under 16s in the Gold Coast. Do you remember that, Scuzz? We used to go to the Gold Coast then. We're on the Goldie, and there used to be that bungee jumping place right in the centre of the Gold Coast in Service Paradise. And it was $80 to do the jump, and I didn't obviously have $80. I was 15 years old. So I said to the girl behind the jump, if I do it nude, can I get it for free?
As if that's a good proposition.
Yeah.
And she said, absolutely. And so I was like, shit, I'm in the deep end now. So next minute I'm standing up on top of the tower
All the
in
boys
the
there.
nude.
All the boys there.
All the boys are there surrounded.
Great.
Unfortunately for me, it was the middle of the winter. It was a cold night.
Jonathan, I got to ask, what happens to a penis in that scenario? Because it's not straddled in by undies.
Yeah. Yes.
You would go there, Dana.
Yeah.
Was
It's
it
just hitting you in the face.
Well, I was wide. It's fair to say I was wide-eyed on the way down. So, I didn't have much hair on me. Little fella at that stage. So, there's no need for manscaping at that stage. So there you go. That's probably my
That's
greatest
good.
achievement.
Nude
like
bungee jump.
That's
So
perfect.
it's fair to say I put it out there that night.
This man called it a slam dunk, and I'm pretty sure he can slam dunk while he's standing on the ground. He's huge. Spider Burton with one of my favourites.
Does a hole in one count?
Yes, absolutely,
yeah.
it does.
Yeah. I
Where-
don't know if we've got long enough.
Talk,
Honestly.
mate.
It's
I
a
want
long
to hear it
leading,
all. Don't worry. What happened? Where was it?
Well, I play at Cottesloe Golf Club in Swanbourne. Saturday morning, just with 3 mates, a couple of blokes that I regularly play with. We tee off on 10. 11's a par 3. I should have hit 7 iron. I hit 8 iron really hard and dragged it right down left and into the crab. I thought, all right. So then played 13. It's a par 3. I'm thinking, I'm not going to make the same mistake. It's 5 iron, but I'm going to hit a 4 iron nice and soft, and just clipped it. And Doc Newman, he called it about halfway through the air. He goes, that's going in. And it was a slam dunk, just straight in the hole.
No.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Oh, I was high as anything. Like, the only blue was then we get around to the 9th and there's water on 9th. I've kept playing the same ball and I've hit in the water.
Oh, you've lost your hole
So
to one ball.
stupid.
So is that you meant to sort of keep the ball and get
I
back to the
I should
bar?
have done. Yeah.
You didn't.
Well, hang it up at home or something like that, you know.
You didn't want to go for a swim?
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
Spider's
yeah,
been
yeah.
training for the Roto, so maybe just heads down to the Cottesloe Golf
Yeah,
Club.
into the lake.
Jaiden was absolutely just jittering over there behind the desk during this entire interview because Adam Gilchrist is his favourite person on earth. You should hear this one. He could have kicked 1 million goals on the footy field if we let him.
I would say kicking 10. Yep.
Wow.
Full forward down in Deniliquin when I was in my primary school years.
Really?
10.
Yeah.
Are you sitting in the goal square? Or are
Absolutely.
You, yeah. No, not leaving?
Not leaving it. I was inspired by a bloke by the name, now this is a blast from the past, and the real purists might know his name, Trevor Sutton.
Right.
He played for the Denny Rams, and he kicked 22
In a day.
wearing a pair of, I think it was the Ovens Murray League. 22 in a day in a pair of white sand shoes. He might have scrapped around in for Footscray one year. But anyway, he was in and out of the system very quickly at the top level.
What you're telling me is that maybe the standard wasn't
Yeah,
sort of up to scratch?
well, I'm saying the defence wasn't that big down in that region. So, yeah, that's probably my biggest claim to
10
fame.
goals. That's very
Yeah,
good.
very good. Bag.
Yeah, junior footy. Yeah, just kick it to me. Lay a few off, Gilly. No, mate. No, I'm going again.
If you know Fran Williams from the West Coast Fever, I'm sure you've probably heard this one. She tells it everywhere she goes. Dinner parties, birthday parties, everywhere. She thinks about it every single day.
Fran, you going
To
first?
be honest, mine, I think about mine a fair bit, so
Right.
I know what I'm going for here.
Right.
Primary school level, so what, 10, 11,
Perfect.
back home in
Love
the
it.
UK.
Love it.
Swimming gala, And there was this girl in both my races. It was the freestyle. I was doing the freestyle and then the individual medley. And there was a girl who was always better than me from another school, but she was at my swim club, but she was always ahead of me at swim club.
What was her name? You know her name.
Yeah, her name was Abby. And we're lining up. You're on the blocks. There's something about swimming. It's so different because it's individual sport. Your feeling is so intense.
Yes.
It's all on you. And she ended up winning in both of the races. However, she got disqualified in both races because she didn't do her turns properly. Like, in freestyle, you've got to touch with one hand. And she touched with two hands, and then something as well on a tumble turn. She'd not come up in time. And so she ended up getting disqualified in both races, and I ended up winning in both. I'm 10, 11, getting to stand on top of a podium. It felt great. I don't care how it won.
That is
I won.
brilliant.
Yeah.
friend.
Did you get a gold medal or a
Yeah,
ribbon?
get 2 gold medals.
Oh, that is
Like your
brilliant.
first, or?
Yeah, at that age, I was well chuffed.
In 200 episodes, I don't think we've ever had this one, and thanks to Jordan Lewis, and thanks to TABtouch, by the way, he's brought us a sport hadn't heard of the entire time.
I was the local under 10s BMX champion.
I haven't had BMX.
First one,
So
great.
we had a great BMX track next door to the basketball facilities in Warrnambool for a long time. So under 10s was where it stopped, and then basketball took up. But that was
Are we talking freestyle BMX, tricks and stuff?
no, just literally just
racing.
race. Yeah,
Racing.
race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So come down the big ramp and then over the bunny.
So were you
Yes.
the Warrnambool champion or were you the state
No, the
champion?
Warrnambool champion. Yeah. I didn't take it any further than that. It was a bit of a piss take at the start.
And then, you became good
and then
at
I
it.
just sort of found myself in a position where I was in the final.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I mean, I was obsessed with BMX bikes, like mongoose bikes, and
Yeah.
you sort of look at the handlebars on them now, and sort of weird shapes. But back then, like my Freddie's going through now, like this fad sort of stuff goes through. But yeah, BMX BMX was my thing.
I like it, and
Yeah,
it's
that's good.
unique.
Do you have pegs on it? Pegs on the back?
100%.
Yeah, great.
You sound like you're a bit of a BMX.
Yeah, I had one of those things on it that you could lock your bike with it, and if the wheels turned when it was locked, it would say "Meow, meow, meow, stolen bike, stolen bike."
Yeah, right.
Had like a
Before your
speaker on it.
time.
Yeah, I know. If you've done something spectacular in the sporting world, you want people to witness it. And thanks to Simo and Spider Burton, they were both there for this one. David King's got another one for us.
I'm more of a punting champion.
Great.
Mad Monday Eve, I think it was 2000 or 2002. It was back that stage. Got sitting with Adam Simpson, Shannon Grant, Matthew Burton.
Yes.
I don't know if you've had them on. Got dealt a straight flush, 25 grand.
Wow. Got
And
dealt a
it-
straight flush.
It was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King of Diamonds. The dealer just lined them up in a row.
So they're all, so a straight flush is on suit and
In
order.
in sequence. Yeah, if it had been ace high, it would have been 250 grand.
Was that a royal
It would
flush?
be a royal flush.
Jeez.
So I was one off
were
that.
you on a footy trip, did you say?
It was the night before. It was pre-Mad Monday drinks, which is a bad idea anyway, right? It was about 4 a.m. I'll give full honesty, full disclosure. The theory was, right, if you go home, it gets to that awkward stage. If you go home
Yes.
at 3,
Yes.
you got to be back at 9.
Mm.
So you can sort of lose yourself in the 1.5 hour sleep you get when you get home. So often we would just punch through.
Yes.
And try and ride out through Mad Monday. So we had that awkward stage where something needed to happen.
Yes.
I remember the dealer saying, because they'd turn the cards over. I knew I had a flush. I didn't know I had a straight flush, right? And the guy goes, "Mate, you've won heaps." And with sheer arrogance, 15 beers deep, I said, "Oh, mate, I thought you said heaps. That's only 25. The dealer didn't talk to me for about half an hour after that.
That
So
is
that's
brilliant.
good fun.
As part of the only exclusive women's sport club in the country, Daisy Pearce had to play almost every sport possible to keep the club alive.
I made a quick fire 43 off about 17 once.
Nice.
I was a bit of a
How old were you?
basher as a bats woman,
How old were you?
an adult.
That's a good effort.
I would have been in my 20s, but it was the one day that my very bad slog sweep actually connected.
That's good. What did you come in at?
I won't talk about the multiple LBWs off the first or second ball in the lead up and after the event. Of
What
the 43,
competition was
but-
it? Was it a social?
Well,
Was-
Darebin Falcons, where I used to play footy prior to AFLW starting. We were the only standalone women's sports team in the country, women's sports club,
yes.
and very much winter sports initially, soccer, Aussie rules footy. And then with the crunch on facilities and ground space and that, the council came knocking and said, oh, we're going to have to put a men's cricket team in here over summer because we can't justify having no one in here. And it was like, oh no, we play cricket now. So suddenly you had this rotating group of footballers and soccer players like putting their hand up to play cricket on the weekends.
Yeah. Just rolling in.
Yeah, it was good fun.
That's good. So 43 coming in at what? What did you come in at?
I think I opened for a little while, but it was, I loved my cricket, but
that's very good.
My talent didn't really back up my love.
I'm not sure if Brad Johnson was more excited about hearing our stories or telling his own, but he gave us some real Daley Thompson type stuff.
The year I retired, we won the Div B Surf Coast basketball title, which is my first premiership in a long time. I only ever won. We won the Bulldogs twos in 1994. We won the premiership.
Did you?
Other than that, that was my first ever other premiership.
And that was
at senior level, Div 2.
Yeah, good.
What sort of basketball were you?
No, average.
Grinder.
I'm good. I'm the assist king, mate. You know what I mean? I just feed it off.
Good on the lip?
No,
bit of lip?
No lip.
See,
Just,
nice play. Yeah.
No, just under the ring, trying to fight with the 6'6". But as a youngster, athletics was my love, and I still love it. Absolutely love it today. So I was more into I got too bored too easily. So I had to do like the decathlon type thing. So I'd go to the events and instead of just going to do hurdles at states or local regions and all that sort of stuff, I couldn't sit there for 4 hours for one event and then come fifth and go home. So I had to go and do more. So Daley Thompson was my hero growing up. Yeah. So I ended up going down that line a little bit.
Really?
I was no good at discus and shot put being the size I am, but the running and all that sort of stuff was okay. And then we won the biggest achievement in athletics. So we won a bronze medal in a relay at the biggest school districts going around. That was it for me. Like I was the first medal that I'd won, loving the Olympics, loving my athletics, standing on the dais and putting the bronze on, mate, that was pretty cool.
I always used to think bronze was better than silver. Like, it looked a bit more like gold.
Sounds better,
do you know what I mean? Like, it just looked like it could have been gold. Silver was like,
So never good enough to win a gold, unfortunately. But
That's right.
to put a medal around the neck was pretty cool as a
Decathlon
youngster.
as well. That's good. Love that.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Very
it was different and it was challenging, but it just honestly, I think it was better for my parents because it just kept me involved all day rather than being a pest and just hanging around.
Well, I've seen Adam Simpson throw a ball for his dog, so I can personally vouch for the fact that he can throw a ball.
I had a good arm. So I challenge anyone to a throw off.
Is that right?
Throw anything.
Anything. Rocks, tennis balls, rubber balls. Yeah, I don't need the dog throw at the park. I just use my arm.
The cannon.
So I've got a good arm. But actually, I had a good arm. I'm not quite sure what it's like. So I always thought, geez, I could actually be good at javelin. If I really...
Are you a left-hander or a right-hander?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-hander, left-footer? Is
Yeah,
that right?
It might explain a couple of things as a player. But yeah, that was the one thing I pride myself on.
Cricketer Alana King has had her hands on the Grand Slam Cup and she's been berated by a former tennis great. I'm going to let her tell you all about it.
Okay, this will be winding back the clock to when I was a ball kid at the Aussie Open, being a ball kid in the women's final in 2011.
No way.
Yeah.
I had a mate who did that, and he said it's ruthless in terms of making the final. You don't just get rolled out. It's like best of the best, right?
Yeah, there's you go through markings and you get assessed every time you go on court, which is pretty bizarre when you first time hear about ball kids. You just think, oh, they're just there to collect the balls and give the players the towels. But there's some pretty serious training and assessments going behind. So then they get the best ball kids for the finals. So
where were you positioned? Were you on the net? Were you at the back of the court?
No, I was baseline. So yeah, I got screamed at by Lee Na. It was a final between Kim Classes and Lee Na. And
what did she yell at you? What for?
Well, she didn't want the towel, and then all of a sudden she decided to yell at me because she wanted the towel, and then I just ran to her, and then she didn't want the towel. So it was a great experience, but got to hold the cup with Kim Classes at the end.
Really?
Yeah, all the ball kids did, and I was right under the cup, holding my hand up right under the Grand Slam Cup of the Aussie Open.
That's brilliant.
Mason Redmond and I bonded over this one. We're both cricketing heroes. Let's hear about it.
I've made a ton in cricket.
Have you?
You look like a swimmer.
I got 4 in 1 over, 4 wickets in 1 over, but with no hat trick. So that was great.
How's that even possible?
Got 2.
Break. 1
wide, 4, 2, 4. So it was a good over. Broke the back of the opposition.
That's great.
The umpires in the cricket sort of comp we play in, the batting team umpires at the same time. I don't know if you've ever come across that.
Great. I'm
which
not
is
a great
great.
cricketer.
Yeah,
But I'm walking back, and the umpire is probably the Oppo's best player.
Yep.
He like, opens batting or comes in 3, and I was sort of bowling toward the tail end. And
You didn't have to.
I'm walking back to the top of my run up, and he looks me dead in the eyes. He goes, "Mate, it's true. Shit does get fucking wicked." And I'm like, "Mate, you're telling me? I'm sitting here with 4 in 1 over, mate. How good am I?"
Is this back in juniors?
No, this was seniors. I was probably only like 16 though. So
Right.
yeah, but it was awesome.
All right, I like that. We'll take that.
Shit gets wickets. Very true.
You're a walking, talking.
Oh yeah, I got a 5 for 16 off shit gets wickets.
That's the
Bowling
best, isn't it?
pies and they just get caught.
What do you bowl?
Leg spinners.
Leg spinners.
Yeah, in under 12s. They're not moving. They're just looping.
The best, mate. The best.
And our final greatest sporting achievement, thanks to TABtouch for this season, from Mitch McGovern. If you remember Jeremy's, it was basically the same. Have a listen.
Probably the first thing that came to mind was when we lived in Kalgoorlie, we used to do fire brigade as a sport. We went to the champs in Perth.
Tell me all about this.
I'm pretty sure we won that champs. I reckon it would have been 13 or 14 maybe.
Was Jez in the team?
Jez was in the team, yeah.
What are you doing in this?
So,
you know what this is?
Yeah, I've seen like the guys
so
up ladders and
that's
stuff.
like the German stuff where they're just like nuts going up ladders and stuff, putting out fires and windows and
So what are
carrying
you blokes
buckets.
doing?
So ours is like you have like different roles in your team, and some person's on the main, some person's on the hoses, some person's on the shooting.
What were you?
I was hose, quick little nippy one. Couldn't really carry too much weight, so yeah, get out there, run the line out as quick as you can.
So that was
touch
like
them
a
all up.
state.
Yeah, I think it was state. Gee, well, you have to ask Jez to correct me, but
that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that could be the most unique.
Yeah, it
with,
is.
and you've done well because we've had some
we've
strange
had pigeon racing as well. So,
Really?
Yeah, Sean McManus, legend pigeon racer.
National pigeon racer.